Assalamualaikum and hi. Today we are going to present about major areas in business organization affected by governance issues. Before we start, I would like to introduce our group members. I am NOOR ATIQAH binti Muhammad AHIR.
I'm NURSARAH SYAFIQAH binti ISHAK.
Hi, I am Lyana Adrina binti ROZAILEY.
I is NOOR AFIFAH binti NASRI.
So, here is the subtopic that we are going to discuss. First, board composition. Second, board size. Third, board leadership structure. Fourth, interlocking directors. And lastly, duality role. So, first of all, I would like to explain about board composition. Board composition is the distinction between inside and outside directors. Outside directors provide advice to CEO that is not available from inside directors. Under unitary system, the board is the highest internal control system. The role of independent outside directors become crucial to monitor the inside directors. There are two examples of board composition. First of all is MCCG. MCCG, there must be a right balance in the board composition comprising the independent, non-executive directors and non-executive directors. Next one is Bursa Malaysia listing requirement. At least 2 directors or 1/3 of directors, whichever is higher, are the independent directors.
Next, I will proceed for the subtopic of the board size. And we will go through for the advantage of the large board size and the small board size. For the large board size, the advantages: first, more capable in monitoring the action of top management because it is more difficult for CEO to direct larger board. Second, it is more difficult for the CEO to obtain consensus for taking action that will harm shareholders' interests. Then, we will proceed for the small board size. The first advantages is able to make timely strategic decision. And lastly, conducive to an active board size with high level of involvement in strategic formulation. Next, I will proceed for the disadvantages for the large board size and the small board size. For the disadvantages for the large board size, first, decrease the ability of board to control management. Second, communication among directors become more difficult. Third, poorer processing of information. Fourth, larger time to make decision. And lastly, more bureaucratic problems. And the disadvantages for the small board size is less oversight duties.
Okay, so I will explain about board leadership structure. So, board leadership structure is one of the issues in corporate governance where the duality role or dominant personality of the CEO, which is also the chairman of the board. It is very important issues to differentiate between CEO and chairman of the company. There should be a clearly accepted division of responsibilities at the head of the company to ensure a balance of power and authority which no one individual has unregulated powers of decision by MCCG year 2000. Separation of role of the CEO and chairman has been argued to promote better monitoring and implementation role but not capable of increasing value of the firm. In ensuring accountability and independence of the board, it is suggested that the board need to appoint a leader among the independent director for companies that practice duality role. Okay, next is advantage of role duality. First, manager will act in the best interest of the firm and shareholders, thus enhance board effectiveness. Second, flow of information is stronger because the firm's manager role in influencing the board agenda. Third, helps in decision making as it permits a sharper focus on company's objective and promotes rapid implementation of operational decision. And lastly, may also lead to improved performance resulting from clear and federated leadership of the board. Okay, next is disadvantage of role duality. First, who will monitors management? Second, when the chairman is also CEO, the chairman is put in the position evaluating his or her own performance, determining own composition and tuner. Lastly, may lead to use of power for personal gain at the expenses of shareholder and stakeholder. So next will be explained by AFIFAH.
I will explain about the interlocking director. Interlocks or cross-directorship refer to the situation where the directors sit on more than one board. So the reciprocal interlocking, at least two directors together serve on board of two different companies. For the example, CEO of the company A is serving on the other company, which is company B. And the same time, the CEO also serving on the board for the company A. Next, I will explain about the advantages of interlocking directors. First, provide directors with the opportunity to compare management policy and the practice. Second, expose the director to the economy, trends and aspects of international business. And third, provide insight into how other companies pursue new approach to business and also new management style. Next, for the disadvantage of interlocking directors. First, director may pursue their own objective at shareholders' expenses. Then, second is intercorporate conspiracy. Next, I will explain about the Bursa Malaysia in interlocking directorship. So, the permits directors to hold up to 25 directorship at one time, of which 10 directorship are in public listed company and 15 directorship are unlisted company. So, why Bursa put the limit? The reason is, first, to increase effectiveness of the board by ensuring that they are able to focus more time and energy on smaller number of company. Second, director will become more knowledgeable in companies and board they sit on. And third, promote the professionalism and improve the quality of board. Next, will be explained by the NOOR ATIQAH.
So lastly, SYAFIQAH and I will explain about duality role. Definition of duality role. Duality role in a company means a person who has a dual role as chairman of board (COB) and chief executive officer (CEO) at the same time. Many companies in this era implement the policies that provide the opportunities for the COB to also take part in company as CEO. So next, SYAFIQAH will explain more about duality role.
Lastly, for the duality role, there are two theories that support and reject the duality role in a company. First is agency theory, second stewardship theory. Agency theory denies the duality role can be defined as the relationship between the principal, such as shareholders and agent, such as the company executive and managers. For the stewardship theory, support the duality role can be defined as a steward protect and maximize shareholders' wealth through firm performance, because by so doing, the steward utilities function are maximized. That's all from us. Thank you.